Hi everybody, this is Mikhail with MerkWares and Emberlit and all that silliness, and I would like to show you what I carry in my little emergency or survival or just backpacking tackle box and how it works well with my hand lines. So this is my little emergency, actually I hate to call this an emergency tackle box. This is my field expedient tackle box because I end up fishing so much unexpectedly. I got frustrated with those limited survival fishing kits. So I put together something that's a little bit more comprehensive, but still very compact and easy to carry with me anytime I'm in the hills. Okay, that's my tackle box. And I try to carry things that I've used before. It will change as I experiment, but here's the basics. Obviously, I've got my hooks, and I keep my hooks organized on little bobby pins. Can you see that? Little safety pins? So that's a real convenient way to keep them organized. I have some red cloth, and the idea behind the red cloth is if I have to cut it up and make like a streamer, I can use it as bait sometimes if I have nothing else. But I also, inside of there, I keep some little jigs. There we go. And those little jigs are awesome for bass and little sunfish and bream. But that way they don't get all chewed up. Now, underneath here, I carry an assortment of, well, I'll get to this actually in a second. I just want to show you the different size hooks I carry. So I carry some trout size hooks. And then I carry some trot line size hooks for catfish, or if I'm, dealing with bigger fish, I have these. And I carry enough hooks in my kit because, like I said, I use it whenever I'm out backpacking, but it is also technically my emergency survival kit. So that I make sure that I have enough hooks in there that I can use it to set lines or trot lines or other fishing setups where I don't have to actively be holding the line to be able to catch my dinner. And I got a few other assorted different hooks in there just for different purposes. The weights I carry are mostly these sliding weights because I like to set up two different types of rigs. One is called a Carolina rig and one is called a dropper rig, and I can make these work for both. I'm going to show how to tie those particular rigs in later videos. So there we go. So I have my weights and you can see them right here. And then I have an assortment of spoons because I've been out camping and I've been out fishing where the weather was wrong or the time of year was wrong and I was unable to find live bait. So I have some spoons and some other things that have always done very well for me for catching fish, including these awesome, let me get these out of here. Oops. All at once, check that out. So here's all my Castmasters. And I'm still experimenting with them, so I'm carrying more than I usually would. I just want to see what works best for me, and I figure as long as I have it with, I can try it. But what you'll notice is with all of my lures, here's a nice spinner. With all my lures, I've gone and I've replaced the treble hooks with what are called a sea wash or an open eye hook. They're inexpensive, you can get it at the fishing store. And the reason is they're still just as effective as a treble hook in my opinion, but they're so much more compact. Treble hooks have difficulty fitting into small kits, and by switching them out with this, it's much easier to pack everything away. I've also got a little bobbin, and that's got some 30-pound braided line, and I use that for my main line on set lines. I have some wire leaders in case the fish happen to be real toothy and like to pop my line like pike and so on. And then besides just an assortment of swivels, again I make sure I have the equipment to set up a couple particular rigging setups. Besides just those swivels and these weights, I also have an assortment of flies. And let me see if I can't get that out. My fingers are too large and I'm afraid of dumping it all in the creek. Let's see. There we go. So again, I could use this as bait or an attractant, make a makeshift lure. And then I have these fun little flies. I got some woolly buggers, I got some mosquitoes, I got some San Juan worms, you know. Basically, it's the idea that if I can't find live bait, at least I have something that would be enticing enough to the trout that I'm usually up here fishing, so I can catch something. And from there, I can use their guts, you know, I can use whatever, you know, bits of the fish to use as bait from that point on. But that's my basic setup. So I got hooks that I can use for setting trout lines besides just normal fishing. I've got a lot of lures that have worked for me in the past, including some that I'm still testing out. And then a little assortment of flies, just in case I can't find live bait. Oops, don't want these getting away in the wind. The fun part is packing all this stuff back up and making sure that it fits.